Hello and welcome to Silverstone for the opening round of the 2019 Santander Caterham 7 310R Championship. Last year's racing was enthralling from start to finish, and we are anticipating nothing different in 2019. Well, the fans eagerly anticipating this first race of the season, and Jay McCormack is the man who has scored the first pole position of the year. Will he be able to stay there at the front of the field through the race? Well, he will have some hard chargers around him. Andrew Perry in the number 11 car starting alongside him on the front row of the grid, and they're both just in front of third place man Lee Bristow, the 2017 champ, who will be desperate to try and start his 2019 campaign with a race victory. But before we go racing, let's catch up with our pole sitter Jay McCormack.
Yeah, fantastic. I've stuck it on pole for this race, so racing with lots of new people this year. It's interesting to see how everything weighs out, because it's a big egos coming in and lots of people wanting to win the championship, but you know, I'll be going for it. I won't be taking any prisoners.
That's just what we wanted to hear from Jay McCormack then, who starts on the right of our screen. The blue car with the red stripe is the pole sitter, but in qualifying he was less than half a tenth quicker than Andrew Perry, who will start alongside him. That's Matt Topham, who lines up fifth. We'll be keeping an eye on all of the action from his onboard camera. The race is about to get underway, and it does so now. The first race of the Caterham 7 310R Championship bursts into life here on the Silverstone National Circuit, and Matt Topham has not had a brilliant start, diving up the inside of him there. A couple of cars I think have gone through on the run into the first corner. But with the slipstream effect that we regularly see in Caterham racing, especially here at Silverstone, he should be able to make further progress. It's wheel to wheel for the race lead though. Jay McCormack, I think, has the inside line at Beckett, and trying to go around the outside in the black and red car was Andrew Perry. Matt Topham is sideways as he challenges the red car of Nathan Bell, and alongside him the yellow number 77 is Gordon Sawyer, who started sixth. So already lots of shuffling throughout the order, and someone getting a real slipstream down the inside of everybody there towards the Brooklands complex for the opening time. It looks like Andrew Perry has got the lead away as we come towards the conclusion of the opening lap. But these are 30-minute races, and with so many opportunities to overtake around here, the order will change by the corner, let alone by the lap, particularly in the early exchanges. But it is the 11 car that leads them out of Luffield through Woodcote for the first time of asking. Wheel-to-wheel action will be the order of the day. That's the 48 car of Tom Grensinger trying to get up the inside of our other onboard camera. Now this is Lee Bristow. Lee Bristow, the former champ, who started third, has rather gone backwards here in the opening stages, but he is an experienced Caterham campaigner and knows what it takes to pick his way back up the order. We've seen many Lee Bristow charges over the years. This looks like it may have to be another one. 2 and 3 abreast through Maggotts and Beckett. It looks like the first lap of the race all over again. The Silverstone National Circuit, essentially 3 straights with hairpins at the end of them, meaning there are plenty of chances to run side by side and to execute overtaking opportunities as well. And the drivers will weave this way and that to try and break the toe down the Wellington straight. We've got the inside of Matt Topham. There is somebody trying to take the place away at Brooklands, and instead he goes right around the outside and tries to overtake the 71 car of Alan Cooper, the man who was 5th in the championship last year. Alan Cooper is currently running 4th in the race but runs wide, and Matt Topham goes up the inside. In fact, that is for 5th position. The car's so closely bunched together that what looks like one car could be 2 or 3 running absolutely nose to tail. There is the black and orange car of Matt Topham. He's still up the inside of Alan Cooper in the grey 71 car, and that provides a double slipstream for the group of cars behind to take advantage of. So they may well be 3 wide at Copse Corner. It's almost 3 wide for the race lead. I think now it might be Donald Henshaw who's got the lead away. There was Andrew Perry, the black number 11 car, who was leading a lap ago. He's now down into 3rd position. 4th position, make that. as they are now 3 abreast for the race lead, and this is such good stuff. Big lock up there though for Andrew Perry. He needs to be careful not to flat spot the tyres. It'll be like driving around on a set of 50p pieces if he does that, and there's still a long way to go in this race. Tyre wear is not a particular concern in these cars, especially at this circuit, but if you over-aggravate them like that in the early stages, you will run out of grip before the end of the race. Ducking and diving again, down the back straight, through Brooklands. It's hard to know where to look here, isn't it? Side-by-side racing right the way through. There's the 79 car going up the inside. There was almost a bit of wheel banging there between Gordon Sawyer and Nathan Bell, who was trying to execute the move up the inside line at Brooklands, but that puts him on the outside at Luffield, and what looked like may have been a positional gain actually ends up being a loss of ground through the next couple of corners. NASCAR style in Caterham racing here at Silverstone, if you end up offline, if you go for a move and it doesn't work, then you're liable to lose several positions, because look at how many cars are still in this lead pack. Copse Corner, and it is now Donald Henshaw out in front of the pole sitter Jay McCormack in second place, and Gordon Sawyer, the yellow machine, is in third position. As the top, what's that, dozen cars more or less, you could throw a very small blanket over the lot of them. But the lead change, yes, round the outside goes Jay McCormack, so he was third at the line, and he now leads less than half a lap later. There is Andrew Perry, who has also had a stint out in front. Our on-board man, Matt Topham, also making good progress there. The black and orange car through into fourth place. We're on board with Matt now. Didn't get a great exit from Beckett's, though, and so he's under pressure again as they go down towards the braking zone at the end of the Wellington Straight. Who will lead this time around into the braking zone? Still going to be the 25 car, but look at that, steaming around the outside of everybody is Harry Senior, who I don't think was even in the top 5 when they went on to the back straight, and now he is the nearest challenger to the race leader. Back through Luffield, checking on some of the battles just a bit further down this lead order. David Yates there was the number 15 car, and even further back they are still racing as if it were for the race lead. That's the 22 car losing a few spots. That's Gary Curtis on the outside line. Number 4, one of the cars that went through, that was John Styring. Wherever you are, though, in a Caterham field, it's likely you'll have somebody to play with. That is certainly the case here in the opening race of the Santander Caterham 7 310R Championship. Through Luffield, through Woodcote, the slingshot move working well there for John Styring as he goes up the inside of Andrew Hughes, the green machine. But guess what? They're going to be 3 abreast again at Copse Corner. They're almost 3 abreast for the race lead at Beckett's, and I think this time around Gordon Sawyer might have got himself in front. I think there are more and more cars joining in this group, though, every single lap. This is turning into a titanic battle for the top 10 or 12 positions or so. Side by side again down to Brooklands. I think it's more notable if they're not side by side for the lead at this part of the circuit. At the inside of everybody is coming Jay McCormack, but he will not lead. It will be Lee Bristow. Finally gets himself to the front. I was wondering when Lee Bristow would make an appearance in the podium positions, and he has done now for I think the first time all race, and it was when he made the move for the race lead. There is Alan Cooper. Not that long ago he was fighting for the race lead, and now he's in danger of falling outside of the top 10 if he hasn't done already. 48 now, one of the cars we haven't mentioned yet. That's Tom Grensinger from 12th on the grid. But with the racing as close as it is in this championship, particularly at this circuit, qualifying is almost irrelevant. Of course, you want to be at the front of the grid, if nothing else, just to send out the message to your fellow competitors that you have the pace this weekend. But as we can see, you can quite easily move your way up the order from a lowly grid position. What, the 3 abreast again, and Lee Bristow, who led about 10 seconds ago, is in danger of going down to 4th. There's one car on the grass further back and rejoining the track, thankfully avoiding everybody. Didn't quite catch the number on that car, but they will have detached themselves now slightly from this lead train of cars, who are actually single file for the time being. Tim Child, though, unfortunately, his race may well be over. Oh, and Matt Topham off as well. Now, is that related, I wonder? I think that's down at Brooklands. We're on board with Topham. We turn in, there's a clout, and is that Tim Child? No, it wasn't Tim Child, was it? That's somebody else that's got into the side of Matt Topham. That was, I think, the 21 car of Harry Landy. It was unfortunate there for those two, ending up tangling down at Brooklands. But they should hopefully both be able to continue on their way. Now, this is the lead battle. Remarkably, we're about to go on to the final lap of the race, and there are still a good 6 or 7 cars that could win it. Rally crossing further back there is James Beardwell, so he may not be in the conversation for a podium position, but in 1 lap's time we will know who the victor of this opening race of the season will be. At the moment it's Gordon Sawyer, the yellow car that leads, but Lee Bristow challenging to the outside at Copse Corner, looking for that slingshot on the exit of the turn. Has he got it? He's got a good exit, he's up the inside, and Lee Bristow, who finished 4th in the championship last year, looking for the race victory, but Gordon Sawyer says not on your life and gets back in front before they hit the braking zone at Beckett's. So Lee Bristow will now have to try and get the slingshot down the Wellington Straight. But do you want to be leading onto the Wellington Straight on the final lap? Well, we're about to find out. Gordon Sawyer is punching the hole in the air. Lee Bristow closing all the time. Pulls to the right-hand side. Can he clear the yellow machine before they hit the brakes down at Brooklands? And what can the pole sitter Jay McCormack do? He goes to the inside of both of them. There's no way through, though. And Gordon Sawyer, for now, hanging on. Bristow and McCormack will be side by side for second into Luffield. McCormack decides not to go around the outside. Instead, tries to find a gap on the inside, which he will do. And so Jay McCormack into second, but I don't think he has time to chase down the race leader. Gordon Sawyer, with a marvellous defensive drive on the final few laps of the race, is going to come through and take the first checkered flag of the season. A brilliant performance for Gordon Sawyer. He is your first winner of 2019, for the man who was runner-up in the championship last year. That is the perfect start to the season. Sawyer takes the victory then from McCormack, Bristow, Henshaw and Andrew Perry, the top 5. For the top 10 or so, nose to tail at the flag.
Yeah, it's great. I'm so pleased. I had a terrible start and I dropped back to about 15, something like that. Worked my way back forward, and I should have won the race. I miscalculated the final lap, and I should have gone for the lead. But hey ho, next time.
Yeah, great result. Second place. Started on pole. It was intense. Every second of that race was just fight. But it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Coming home with second and with Gordon. Both of us are Irish, so we're just getting the races in before we get thrown out of the country.
Yeah, brilliant race to open the season. Good close battles. It was like the last race of the season, to be honest. Yeah, everyone was going for it. I was absolutely flat out all the time. Going down the last straight, me and Lee were side by side, but I don't think he realised it was last lap because I outbraked him quite easily. So lucky for me.
Well, a brilliant first victory of the year for Gordon Sawyer, and he went and did the double in race 2, meaning he is your early points leader. Jay McCormack was back on the podium again, so he is second ahead of Lee Bristow, James Beardwell and Pete Walters to round out the top 5.